Hello and welcome to episode 142 of the HamCorp Training Manual. In this episode, we unlock a quick quality of life item to travel to and from other dimensions. We then expand a bit of infrastructure, unlock some Godforge upgrades, and near the end of the video, unlock Convergence on the DTPF. Alright, we have some infrastructure work to do today. But first, I want to make something that's going to make my life a little bit easier. The Enhanced Charm of Dislocation. This needs a Charm of Dislocation. It needs 5 of them, actually. And both of these objects let me teleport to pre-configured locations and orientations in any dimension. I want to do this because the last 2 times I went to Horus to set up my Dysons, I basically used /kill to get home. And that kind of feels like cheating, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but I don't use /home, because in my opinion, that also feels like cheating. So I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to use /kill as a budget /home. So instead, I'm going to do it the right way, and I'm going to make a Charm of Dislocation. In the meantime, I'm going to keep crafting the stuff I need to unlock the Heliofusion Exoticizer. Now, I have never used this thing before, and I don't really know how it works, but let's see if I can figure this out. So it needs some kind of fuel, and from Googling it, it seems like that fuel is ender pearls. Indeed it is. And I've made a destination called home that's just in my control tower. And if I right-click the air, I should go back. Perfect. Cool. Now I can get back from Horus without feeling like I'm cheating. Now, for Convergence. I need trans-dimensional alignment matrices. And to make these, first I need to do a scan of a UV microwave energy transmitter. That's fine. And there are a few new things that go into this. There is spatially enlarged fluid. There's a DTPF recipe to convert tachyon-rich temporal fluid into spatially enlarged fluid. But the tachyon fluid comes from a QFT, and this QFT recipe is gated behind the Eye of Harmony, so I can't do this. There's also DTPF recipes to just convert between the two, from spatial to tachyon and the other way. But the only way to actually get these to begin with is in a Forge Hammer. I get both in equal quantities at the cost of quantum anomalies, raw tesseracts, and molten spacetime. It's a pretty slow recipe too. I also need dense flerovium plates. Flerovium ore doesn't spawn anywhere, but I think you can mine it in the deep dark. I'll look in a sec. I probably have some dust in my storage, but otherwise you can also fuse it in a fusion reactor Mark IV with plutonium-241 and calcium plasma. And I do have flerovium, so that's good. Next up, I need an insanely ultimate battery, which is the next tier of battery. This is just expensive, but it's nothing new. It just uses 8 extremely ultimate batteries and uses another one for the scan. It's alright. Expensive, but nothing surprising. I need space-time continuum rippers, same thing as the tier 4 QFT, and I think this is the most expensive part, the infinite space-time energy boundary casing. This is a block that is used in the Eye of Harmony, so it's the first one I'm going to be making. It's this one over here. The scan is a 16x UMV superconductor wire, and I need at least 16,000 computation and a lot of EU per tick until this is done. Besides that though, crafting it, it's not too complex. There's not really anything new. It's just each one is going to need a UHV capacitor and a Lapatronic supercapacitor controller and 16 active transformers and 4 wireless energy hatches and a 65,000 amp UMV laser target hatch. It's a lot. And it's really slow too. 500 seconds for one. But it's, I only need one, so it's okay. Well, I need one per matrix, so I'm going to need multiple. Besides that, a bunch of UMV parts, field gens, robot arms. It's going to be expensive, but if that surprises you, you have not been paying attention. Before I do that though, I'm going to do a few infrastructure upgrades. First of all, I'm going to swap out Kevlar plates for Radox plates in all of my PCB recipes, so that should make things a little bit cheaper and faster. I'm going to make more precise assemblers in imprecise mode, so basically multi-block assemblers. Believe it or not, so far, I have been surviving off of 1, and only now is it starting to become a bottleneck. So I'm going to make a few more. Maybe I'll just make 4 for now. That should be plenty for now at the current scale of my crafting. I'm also going to need more assembly lines, circuit assembly lines that is, because a lot of low tier circuits are still being made in these. They're not even quad assembly lines, let alone arrays of quads. So that's something I can fix. The only thing is I don't know where to put them. So yeah, I might have to expand this or something. I don't know. Also, the bioprocessor and wetware processors are all being made in one quad each, so I need to make more of these as well. And finally, the industrial cutting factory. I already have these. The only thing is I need to upgrade all of the energy hatches, I think. Oh no, I've already done that. Unless, no, these are UEV. So I need to upgrade these to UMV, and I'm gonna make this look better. Take it off the shelf, put it somewhere nice. You know what? Maybe the shelf could be repurposed into a low-level circuit crafter. That's an idea. I'm gonna get to work on all of that, and also get my alignment matrix done. And after that, I'll explain how Convergence actually works. It's pretty cool. Real quick though, let's unlock the Quark Gluon Plasma Isolation Unit. This unlocks the final George module, the exoticizer, and that's awesome. Now, in this exoticizer, I can make two things. Degenerate Quark Gluon Plasma and Molten Mag Matter. Quark Gluon Plasma kind of has no use at the moment. It's used after the Eye of Harmony to make Mag Matter nanites, which are used for the best storage cells in the game, and also for the Stargate base. Quark Gluon Plasma is also used for the Stargate parts. So I'm not there yet, obviously. I need Universium, I need Eye of Harmony, I need all this other stuff, and I need to wait about 1,000 hours probably, or so they say. But yeah, the other thing I can make is Molten Mag Matter. This requires a fully upgraded Godforge, so actually I can't even do this right now. Molten Mag Matter is used for Stargate parts, UXV components. It's used for a lot of stuff. Regardless, I can't make it, so I'm not going to look too deeply. The main benefit of having unlocked this is that I can get more upgrades. And also I can make one and place it, even if I'm not going to use it, because that gives me points in composition. So that'll be even more graviton shards for me to spend. Making it is nothing special at this point. It needs another 4 TPMs, but besides that, nothing crazy. Meanwhile, for more upgrades, I think at this point, what happens is a split. Once I commit to one of these lines, I have to do all the upgrades in this line before I can do the others. At least, that was my understanding from reading the manual. I don't know if that's true, but let's find out. This is the one I want to get first, the gravitationally guided electron beam emitter. This improves the overclocking formula. The base formula is 4 times the power for 2 times the speed. This becomes 4 times the power for 2.3 times the speed. And now I don't have enough shards to test if I can invest in the other branches yet. But once I make the exoticizer, I should be able to do that too. Quite a bit of crafting to do. Couple hours later, I have a bunch more shards to spend. So let's see if I am locked into this track. I think I am. So if I try to go to one of these other branches, say this one, and I click construct, nothing happens. And I think the way I unlock more branches is actually not by completing this branch and then going back, but actually I need to build more rings at the Godforge. We'll come back to that though. For now, I am locked into the green branch. If I want, I can of course refund this and then choose a different branch, but I have to refund the entire branch to switch branches. I think for now I'm happy with this decision because this is going to upgrade the plasma fabricator, which is kind of the most important thing to me at the moment. So let's go. With the temporal plasma transformation process, I will be able to make multi-step plasmas, but still going to be locked to up to tier 3. With the internal microkugelblitz generator, I get a bigger heat-based energy cost reduction at the EBF module, and I get an energy discount based on the fill level of the battery. Again, the battery. I need to think about the battery. I still haven't set that up. And finally, disparity of rarity. This improves IGCC, which is this one, the heat-based time reduction multiplier. It improves the formula to this new formula that's based on the current maximum parallels, as well as the heat. And that's all my shards. The next upgrade, the null gravity modulation sheath. This multiplies the maximum processing voltage by 4 per active ring. Cool. Now, back to infrastructure. Well, I've added some more space assembly modules, just 3 more. However, I have run into power problems. I can't power them all because I'm not providing the space elevator with enough power. So I need to swap out this active transformer with an LSC, I think. And that's a little bit annoying because I made this whole design to house the lasers, but I would rather just have an LSC for each space elevator. I think that would just be better for me. Besides that, I've added a few more circuit assembly lines for wetware. I had to push the wall back a bit, so that was slightly annoying, but I got it done. And finally, I have managed to move the cutting factories. Now they live over here in the cool new building, where my frame rate drops quite a lot. But here it is, and I think it looks pretty cool. I like it. I decided to put it where the chem plants are because I don't really use these anymore. But I'm also hesitant to get rid of them because what if I use them again in the future? I kind of doubt it, but it's there, so I may as well leave them there. So I put them here. And if I need to add more, which I probably will, I can just keep on stacking. Now I'm wondering, do I need mega blast furnaces? Because I don't have a single pattern in any of these crafting buses. So these are literally not being used, and they don't need to be here. I could get rid of them. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it for now, and then based on what you guys say, I may or may not remove this. But the Godforge is such a massive improvement that these are basically obsolete. They're way too slow, which is crazy to say. Anyway, a few more tasks. I need to make more precise assemblers and put them somewhere and decorate it. And I need to set up the remaining Dysons. I still need to do this. And I really should, because my power is going down. I'm at 15 quintillion. I was at 18 quintillion yesterday. So it is going down. One final thing I want to say is I have my compact cyclotrons going. This is just for fun. You don't have to do this, of course. But I have helium plasma in there because I'm trying to get some neutrinos. Neutrinos have absolutely no use in the game, as far as I can tell. But I'm still trying to fill out my standard model. Right now I have an electron and a muon for the leptons. I'm still missing a tau and then the 3 neutrino types. Also, I love neutrinos because I used to work on neutrino physics back in the day. Damn, that was a long time ago. Now I'm the CEO of a very successful company. Well, it looks like I have a tau and a muon neutrino. I'm just missing the electron neutrino and the tau neutrino. And then I need some bosons, but I think I actually need them for other stuff, so those will come eventually. Now, I finally have my trans-dimensional alignment matrix. I need 3 more for the rest of my DTPFs, and I'm gonna need 1 for every DTPF from here on out. But for now, let's just see how this works. So I need to put it in the controller slot. I need to right-click this button to set the catalyst tier. I'm gonna set it to 4 for exotic, because that's the catalyst I want to spend. And before I turn this on, let me explain how the bonus actually works. So let's consider the space-time recipe that I'm using, right? This uses 2 billion EU per tick and takes 20 seconds for a total cost of 800 billion EU for this craft. I'm currently supplying 4096 amps of UMV, which is 549 billion EU per tick, almost 550. That means I'm overclocking quite a few times. So I overclock once, that makes this 8 billion EU per tick, twice makes it 32, 3 times makes it 128, and 4 makes it 512, which, as you can see, on the controller, I am using 512 billion EU per tick. Well, it's switching recipes, but for the space-time one, that's how much I use. So 4 overclocks, right? Every overclock results in me using twice as much total EU, because I use 4 times the power at half the time, and that ends up, if you multiply those two, you get twice the total EU. So I end up using 800 billion times 2 to the 4, which is 16. So I'm using 16 times 800 billion EU to do this craft. That's a lot of EU. When I turn on Convergence, this converts the overclocks into perfect overclocks. So my total EU cost will be reduced all the way back down to 800 billion instead of 800 billion times 15. And the difference in the EU cost must still be paid for. And that's what makes this perfect overclock special. It's slightly worse than a normal perfect overclock. In terms of speed, it's the same. It's just now I need to somehow compensate for that extra EU, which was 15 times 800 billion EU. And that compensation happens in the form of catalysts. So 1,000 liters of exotic catalyst costs this amount of EU, which is a bit more than 1 trillion EU. And the excess amount of EU that needs to be paid for is 12,000 billion, so 12 trillion EU. I'm going to have to spend 12 extra buckets of exotic catalyst per craft. That's quite expensive. However, the craft is going to complete 2 to the 4 times faster than it is right now. So that's a pretty massive speed up and definitely worth it. I'm still concerned I won't be able to make catalyst fast enough, but there is one thing that helps a little bit, and that is there is the discount the DTPF has that 50% discount, remember? So instead of 12 buckets of excited exotic catalyst, I'm actually only going to need to spend 6 buckets. That's still a lot, but yeah. So let's turn this on, and I'm a little terrified. Let's see. I currently have 241 million exotic catalyst. Let's turn this on, and this is way faster, and this is going down pretty significantly. It's already down by 2 million. It's only been like 10 seconds. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with this. I guess we'll see, but I have pretty low hopes right now because it's already down to 234 and it's just going down so quickly. And keep in mind, I only have one of these on Convergence. All 3 of the others are not even on Convergence mode. So yeah, I'm gonna need to stack more donuts. So I think the strategy for now is when I'm actively crafting something, I'm just going to come here and turn on Convergence. But when I'm just chilling, AFK, or if I'm not using the DTPF, then I'll just have it run normally. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we start with a bit of infrastructure cleanup, several more Mark V compacts, the removal of the Mega EBFs, Godforge unlocks, space elevator motor upgrades, more Dysons, and while doing all of that, we will investigate and gather components for antimatter-based power production. See you next time.